how did you both come to it? I mean, because clearly you're of one mind, but I mean, and this is the kind of the co-directing thing, right? Which is a tricky thing. Just it's not for everyone, particularly when you're doing something so sensitive. But how do you find that? How do you both agree on that, or how do you get there? I guess.
I mean, at this point, I think the process of that we went through with The Last Race and sort of seeing what a more conventional version of that film looked like, us not really being fully committed to that version, very, very fully happy with it, feeling like it realized what we wanted to, and then seeing this other version that represented like the choices that we were really excited about, and then seeing that embraced by an audience, I think that made us really bold, and we said, okay, so that kind of worked, like following what we were really interested in kind of worked. So let's just do it on this next one. Let's just kind of go all the way. And when we started shooting The Truffle Hunters, we said, the idea was like, let's just think of every image as like a moving painting. It's almost its own sort of little discrete cinematic universe. And that was the guiding principle. And we went into that shoot and we didn't shoot any coverage. And we started getting these scenes, and it took us a while to sort of figure out how to work with the people that we were filming to get that, because it's what we try to do as filmmakers is we're creating an image, like we're constructing an image, but we need to do it in a way that the people that we're filming forget about us, or if not forget about us, just their lives can go on unencumbered.
The lack of self-consciousness, right? Yeah.
So there's this kind of dance that we're always doing with reality, where we are, we're thinking about the light, we're thinking about the composition, we're putting, if we put the camera below the subject or above the subject, or have a really wide shot or close shot, like all those are really deliberate choices, because we're trying to create a feeling. We're trying to be reflective of like the moment as we feel it. And we need to do that in a way that, people have just sort of a comfort with the process. And that it takes a long time to really understand their worlds and understand where people are comfortable and how they're comfortable. But that allows us to get those images. And so we started, that's how we approached The Truffle Hunters. And it was, usually the process of like coming to that image after having worked together so long and having a shared vocabulary and shared experiences, it's not a lot of talk. It's not a very intellectual process. It's just kind of, we search, and when we find it, it just feels right. And that's the guiding path. And when we brought all that footage for The Truffle Hunters to our first editor, they looked at it and said, like, they recognized nothing. He recognized that it was really, he's like, this is really interesting. He said, I don't know.
I have no idea how to do this.
2 editors.
Right. And so the first thing, that that the editors that worked on that film did is they tried to put the jump cuts in the scenes. Because, we would roll the camera, and, what you'll see in the film, it might be a minute of footage, but that's just the camera rolling for 2 hours. And there might be, there's a lot of interesting moments, and it's like a conversation. It meanders and subjects change, and the editor would want to do what an editor is supposed to do, which is kind of take all that and condense it into something that had some sort of continuity, that told the specific story that they had in their mind. And we said, well, you can't do that. There can't be a jump cut. And they're like, well, then we need coverage. And like, where's the other hard drive with all the coverage? And we said,
where's the hard drive?
We don't have it. There's no B camera. This is it. So it took a while to figure out, to work with editors and figure out how to make this really unique kind of conceit that we had, which was, essentially no, one shot scenes, no cuts, and craft that into a story, to take all these little pieces and move that mosaic around and to create a cohesive, a cohesive narrative out of all these different pieces.